Hi, I'm television's Dale Chapman, and welcome once again to Weird Geniuses in France, the only Channel 19 show ever to be featured at the Chicago Cultural Center. So thank you once again for supporting the arts. On recent shows up top, I've been making requests to be allowed to play basketball at the White House, and I put together video clips of my basketball playing. And I put together a little simulation of what it would be like if the president and myself hung out after the game.
Mr. President, have you ever had a chance to watch my show, Weird Geniuses in France?
Air Force One does have DirecTV. Now, it was silly.
Well, we're just trying to have fun.
The time has come to set aside childish things.
Yeah, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I've been working on a Viagra sketch you might like.
I'm going to do everything in my power to stop that.
With that said, I've been trying to do everything right to go to the White House. And in the interim, some other people have been invited to the White House who I don't think have been doing everything right. In fact, I think they've been doing everything wrong. And those people are Professor Gates and Sergeant Crowley. They were invited to the White House, but not me. And what I have to say to that is, WTF, Brock. And again, I've been trying to do everything right. Look how good I am. So as a reward, invite me. But turns out, act like an idiot, and then you get invited to the White House. Maybe if I, took off my pants and walked over to the grammar school, I'd get invited to the White House. Oh, that's a teachable moment. Dale, we need you to come to the White House and teach you, don't go to the grammar school with your pants off. Always wear your pants when you're at the grammar school. Okay, now let's go play basketball. But I really don't need teachable moments. Anyway, these idiots get to go to the White House and not me. And most people, when they look at a situation, they think there's a right side and a wrong side. But some situations, there's a wrong side and a wronger side. And I think this is one of those situations. Let's start with Professor Gates first. Now, I'm not a Harvard professor. I am a professor. I teach at Columbia College, but it's not an Ivy League school. It's a no-league school. But you don't have to be a Harvard professor to know when you encounter cops, shut the fuck up. That's the rule of cops. When cops show up, you don't say a hell of a lot of anything. Just shut the fuck up. I've had 3 encounters with the police in the past year. First one was I was taking my rabbit to the vet in the middle of the night because it was dying. And I'm going through Skokie. I see a police car in my rearview mirror. And I say, oh, well, I spotted this guy. I'll just go the speed limit and do everything right. All of a sudden, the lights come on. Well, it turns out my tags on my license plate were out of date. The reason they're out of date is because the fucking state sent my application to my old address, even though the previous year they had sent it to the new address. So in the year, they figured I moved back, or they had it right, but then they got it wrong a year later. So anyway, I had out-of-date tags on my license plate. This guy pulls me over. Subsequently, the rabbit died. I'm not blaming the cop, but he didn't help any. The second time is there's a little traffic trap in my neighborhood. There's this little half-block thing where there's a stop sign and there really shouldn't be a stop sign. And I rolled through that stop sign a little bit, and there's a cop sitting there waiting for me, and he pulled me over. And then the third time was when we were shooting our Reservoir Dogs parody, and some brain-dead asshole called the cops and said I was exposing myself somehow. I don't know how some idiot got into my head that, wearing a black suit and a tie is exposing yourself, but some nut job called the police and they showed up. Now, in all these encounters, I was as quiet as a church mouse. When the cops show up, I'm fucking Harpo Marx. License and registration, honk honk. I don't say a damn thing. I just let them do their thing, and I shut up. Now, Professor Gates, with his Harvard brain, didn't know to do this. Now, rightfully he's mad because a guy's coming to accuse him of breaking into his own house, and he wants to call him a fucking pig and yell at him, which I wanted to do too. And it's not a crime to look at a cop square in the eye and say, you're a fucking pig, and yell at him. That's not a crime. But it's a wise thing not to do it. After they leave, then say they're idiots and fucking pigs and et cetera, but not when they're there. But even so, even if you do it when they're there, that's not a crime. You can't disrupt the peace in your own house when you're the only one there. Oh, I'm yelling and acting up so much, I'm bothering myself. It's like inciting yourself to riot. So it's false arrest. With that said, Professor Gates is just a ninny. He's just a little ninny idiot who wants to spend time with this guy anyway. But if you do, President Obama, if that's what you want, a ninny professor, I can provide that. I'm a professor, called Columbia College, I work there, and I can act like a ninny if you want me to. Ooh, my hot cocoa has become chilled. Ooh, mother, may I have some more tapioca pudding? You know, if you want me to act like a ninny, I'll do that, and then we'll go play basketball. Now, the worser part of this equation is Sergeant Crowley. This guy's just a complete idiot, which most cops are. You know, was the valedictorian of your high school, did he become a cop? Or she? No. The reason people become cops is not to serve and protect. I want to serve and protect Dale Chapman, I'll become a cop. They don't care. They become cops to get a badge and a gun, and so that when you encounter them, you will kiss the ring and treat them with respect, and, you know, it's a power trip thing. That's why people become cops. And when Sergeant Crowley showed up to Professor Gates' house to accuse him of breaking into his own house, Professor Gates wasn't treating him with the respect the cop thought he was, so he arrested him, which is wrong. It's illegal. What he did, what the cop did, was illegal. It's false arrest. But anyway, that's how cops are. So that's when the police call, would you like to contribute to the police fund? Well, I can't hang up that phone fast enough. Fuck you, fucking pig. You know, and I can say, if there was a cop here, I wouldn't be saying that. But when they're not here, so when they're not here, you behave yourself. Anyway, so there's that situation. 2 idiots get to go to the White House, not me. Another thing is, I found out that this is what President Obama was doing for his birthday.
The president spent a little time with some friends over the weekend at Camp David playing basketball. And
hey, you're playing basketball. Your birthday is August 4th. Mine's July 31st. We're both Leos. Let's, you know, make it a whole 4-day combined birthday basketball blowout at Camp David. What the hell? What do you say? So next year for your birthday and my birthday, let's play basketball at Camp David together. And if not, you know, at this point, things are looking pretty bleak on the playing basketball at the White House front. I would accept ping pong with Joe Biden. If that's all I can get is ping pong with Joe Biden, that's what I'll take. Okay, I'm glad I got that off my chest. Now we can start this week's episode of Weird Geniuses in France.